All right, folks, how's it going? Circling up from the mosh pit. It's your boy Roar. I got mixed up with my intros. Well, it's been a while since we checked out MILGRAM. Okay, it's been very interesting to see the journey on this. I think by and large, especially having looks like a year or so to kind of process a lot of the characters back and forth. I feel like there's only a couple characters here that I genuinely have not felt like have deserved the good standing that they're in right now. That have been absolutely horrible, terrible people and don't deserve any sort of remorse. One of those was the younger woman who had abortions, had a bunch of baby daddies, and struggled in her videos with seeing her younger self, kind of holding her and being like, your world is going to get messed up. I'm so sorry. It broke my heart to see that. And as an adoptee, I do have some some feelings about, giving the unborn a chance. Just saying. But I know everyone has an opinion about it. So, I know that might not be warrant in discussing here, but it is my feelings on the matter. Yeah, so I want to jump back into not Haro, but this last song from Kotoko, and then we'll start looking at the rest of these. Yeah. I think I don't know if the third trial commencement is necessary. I feel like we already know what's going on with that. We know who's guilty, who's innocent. Let's just do a little bit of a touchback on this. yes, okay. Yeah, I remember her now. Definitely turned into the vigilante. Incredible rap right there. I do remember that her sort of character, her sort of like avatar is a wolf. So for her giggling on the wall next to those giant slash marks, I feel like that's a great character piece. I really like that. Also, I mean, it just reminded me now listening to this again how, yeah, it was such a I don't know, such an emotional journey for her to just try and understand the lack of structure in the system in a lot of cases, and how in a lot of cases the system has failed people. And it's that whole question of whether or not it's actually valuable anymore or not. But in her mind, she went the whole different opposite direction, and we saw it with how she treated the other inmates. That she was like, I am so obsessed with justice right now. I'm going to take the law into my own hands. And if I feel like something's wrong, I'm just going to beat the crap out of somebody. And we almost lost a couple people for that. Oh, yeah, it was that one lady who just, I forgot her name, but after she was beat up, she just became this husk that was deflecting everything with this very quiet, ghostly positivity where they're like, hi, S. It's so good to see you. Like, as she's in a straitjacket and her face is all black and bruised, and it's like, frick. If I remember that correctly. it's like, it's so positive, but it's so like, yeah, she's kind of crazy about it. But, I mean, it's understandable. Oh. Oh. Yeah, so then the kid, of course, doesn't understand what's going on, you know, but they understand, like, your attitude is different than how it used to be. What's going on? And she's on the hunt. Oh, yeah, okay. Oof. Yeah, I think what was really hard for me to watch this when I looked over the whole previous series was just, it's just seeing characters go off a cliff and you can't do anything about it. It's not like you can, I mean, I know the fans can decide one way or another if someone's innocent or guilty, but it's like, it's still ultimately not up to you. You know, it's not just you that decides that. The character can still very well just go off the rails. And it's like, you have to watch that with every installment here and be like, oh no. Yeah, okay, so we're just going to go from one song to the next here, see what's happening. Whoops, god dang it. Why does it always do that? Boop. And there. Okay. Wait, who was Yuno again? Let me just check real quick. I want to see. Was she the one? I feel like she was the one that I was wondering about. Let me dial it back real quick. Man, I feel like I forgot some of these characters. You know what I mean? Let me see. Oh, Maharu was the lady who seemed to be in love, and you didn't know if she killed her boyfriend or something. And then Mu was the one from school, and then Mokoto, split personality, or at least a different identity. Oh boy, the pain is coming back. It was a tough series, like really. So far, so much of this has just been, it's crazy. All right, let's go to first. Huh.
寂しかった一人の夜が嫌いだったそれはとても冷たかったからだから温かいを求めた自分のこと大事にしないまあそれも悪くない積み重ねて足んない気持ちいいとこは足んないやあったかい懐と大事なとこ心の音どこかに落としたことは、そんな日々私は私って話正しいとか思ってないしなんだかんだ楽しかったみんな優しかった好きって言われるのだけはめんどかった人生一度きりみたいな張り切り若いも救う愛ぶ続くライフそれだけでよかったのにここにいるの誰の子これは何の罰なの求めてきた温度それの答えがこれなの気持ち悪い早く一人に私の体を夢と押していく Life 私が生き残っちゃってよかったの Oh Life わがままにあなたのことを下ろしたのにねえはしたないもだらしないもしょうがないで許さないでもっとダメなところたくさんあるのにね Life 私のことちゃんと叱ってほしかった
Whoa. I mean, if I'm reading this exactly as this is, she's feeling regret. Holy smokes. Oh, man. And the fact that it's just quietly rapped is incredible. Oof.
誰かが吸ってたタバコ嫌いじゃなかったあれは確か面相もやもやの水槽吸って吐いて繰り返してやがて全部灰になってまるで私みたいできついねカラオケドライブテンプレートランデブどれもこれも欲の前座その先にはセックス混ぜるな危険好きと欲は別居よろしく楽しめるのは浅瀬沖へ行けば溺れる愛とか
Yeah, so she's... God, people wonder why there's so many issues with casual hookups. Oh, I can't imagine why. It's a bad thing. Because it not, and they're doing such a good job pointing out it's not just about the ultimate repercussions of maybe getting pregnant. It's the emotional. Yeah, you're wanting warmth, you're wanting comfort, but at what cost? Just handing your body out to anybody, you're not going to feel good about that after a while. I'm sorry if some people feel like that's just not a thing. When you don't have a actual relationship, when you're looking for something from someone who is not there to actually love you, it's going to turn what should be a beautiful, intimate experience into something that's, it almost makes you feel gross for having it. Ugh. Yeah. Feelings of love, it always feels ick. That's a classic moment of feeling like, hey, I because of what happened to me, now it's tainted the entire viewpoint of something that should be a positive thing.
よろしく楽しめるのは浅瀬沖へ行けば溺れる愛とか恋とかなんか苦手だった手に入れた瞬間変わってしまいそうじゃんうまく距離を置いてこのままにしといて私よりの互いのためってやつ明日になればきっと他人しつこく食い下がるのは本当かに語れば語るほどに私って何夜が明け夢が覚めてく
Oh, man. Wait. I need to read that. Life, I want you to care enough to tear us up. Yeah, hold up. Oh my god. Oh my god.
最後にこれだけまひるさんへ苦しかったね悔しかったね私は何にもできなかったごめんねいつかそっちでもしのもしで会えたら大好きな彼のこと紹介してね
She remained bored, worried her immensely, robbing her body of warmth. Yuna told no one, and no one caught on, and she turned into ice. She kept her activities secret, as they were socially considered reprehensible, but through them she was offered kindness, money, and warmth. Yuna could not understand what was so very wrong. Above all else, relationships made up of lies, with people honest about their desires, made everything a bit easier. One day she realized she was the host to a tiny new life. She had used protection, but she does not know who the father is. Inside her icy body, that new life burns her with its heat. What little warmth is left in her body, she feels being robbed away. She can sense her body getting even colder. It's not hard to imagine what her path will look like, as society will devour her whole and tear her apart. With her thoughts in disarray, Yuno loses consciousness and falls down a flight of stairs. The mother survives, and the new life is lost. And that's the thing of it. So I've been thinking about this really since I looked at Yuno's music however long ago. I used to work alongside a crisis pregnancy center, and my mom used to work there as a nurse. And she was saying they had placements. I know that this is fiction, and, it's a Japanese culture, so I'm not sure how they are over in Japan. but at least in America, they had places for women. You can go here. You can have your baby taken care of. We can give you what you need, warmth, food, a place to sleep while you get on your feet. They hardly placed anybody. Most people were like, I'll just try raising it elsewhere or not. I would be remiss because I think in one of her moments she was talking about, I think she was talking about her dad, and they're like, oh, my dad wouldn't understand, but he has all this money. I really wonder if there would have been any way that dad, with all his money, could have just kept it secret and basically done the same thing. Hey, we're going to, at least give the kid a shot. At least give him a chance. You could have easily just kept her home until the baby was born and then gave him to be adopted. Give him a chance. I've heard people argue that, because some families don't do very well in the foster system, or because some people get adopted and it doesn't go well for them, then we just can't trust the system. So then it's your job to not give the kid a shot. I'm sorry for just bringing my own thoughts into this, but I have literally heard women say the exact same thing that Yuno has said, where she looks back on what happened and goes, how old would you be today? I wonder what your life would have been like today. Because it's so much more than just what happened to you. As much as Yuno's story is relatable and it's very sad that that's what happened to her. Oh boy, audience retention is going to go down the toilet here. Anyway, let's look at Futa, the Après March. And I'm trying to think of what his story was. I feel like it's been a minute. Maybe bullying or something? I can't quite remember. But I do remember the music for this was always crazy. Ooh. Oh, okay, yeah. So he's seeing people act like two-faced on social media, and he's taking them to task. Dude. The art as well is just crazy, or the visuals is crazy. The text, I mean. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. Dude. Wow. Dun dun dun. Whoa. Maybe they got the wrong one. Oh my gosh. Dude. I just want to check the comments real quick and see. No one on social. Okay, huh. Okay. So there wasn't too much traction on social media. They're saying for a shot at redemption, he really doesn't care about the whole hating healthcare thing. He knows what he did resulted in the victim's death. He acknowledges what he did and says when he joins, because it allows him a way to believe that he can apologize to his victim with enough prayer. Ooh, that's crazy. Okay. Wasn't she the one that kind of switched? Dude, nice production. Huh. Wow. Dude, the production here is so awesome. Okay, so someone's standing up against her. Wow. Yeah, okay, so I tried... Okay, I remember being really confused when I first looked at her music because I think they were doing a bait and switch of, like, is she the murderer or is she the one acting like she's the victim? And I forgot what the answer to that was. You know what I mean? So, very interesting, though. It's obviously, similar here. We have this dissociation between what someone thinks justice is and what their actions are, where they're hurting other people. So, really interesting stuff. Yeah, okay, so she's getting attacked. She's getting attacked, but then she's arguing that other people are the ones doing wrong. So I feel like it's not really making it any more clear here. Incredible rapping. Yeah, but then she had underlings. Maybe she was hoping that she could control everybody. I feel like that's part of her character, if I remember right. I just don't remember if she actually did anything or not. I can't remember. Dude, the production here is awesome. Oh, that's right. So she kept playing the victim, but she took it out on other people. Gotcha. What was he feeling when he died? Whoa. Dude. Jeez. The girl does not succumb, nor does she cry or apologize, and this causes the bullying to escalate. Moo gives no orders. She does not bring up the girl in conversation. Moo understands, however, that anyone who rebels against her must fall, and that she was undoubtedly the center of the universe. The girl reaches the breaking point, and one day she rams a chair into Moo's face in front of all the other classmates. Moo could not understand. Not the pain that she had felt for the first time, nor what was happening. She wailed hideously and vomited from the shock. Oh. The beautiful Moo was no longer there. Instead, an unrecognizable version of her that was exposed to all her classmates. The revolution is realized, and their small society turned upside down. Moo ends up on the receiving side of all the terrible bullying, formerly directed at the girl. Moo could not comprehend the situation, nor could she ask anyone for help. She just stopped herself from feeling anything. I love these little vignettes and describing things. I feel like it's a great way to catch up, but then also gives us more depth on these characters. Holy smokes. The girl, newly freed from the bullying, seems to take absolutely no interest in Moo's predicament. Only, I guess, discrediting her with a single glance. In that instance, the anger that was lying dormant inside Moo wells up. There's no forgiveness in giving her that look. After school, she follows the girl and pushes a utility knife inside her body. Oh my gosh. Save information from the following day to MILGRAM. Okay. Wow. So, oh man, we have a buzzsaw going. Okay. Was this the doctor? Uh-oh. Where the heck do you get that kind of knife? Well, you got a knife in him. He's not going to be able to do anything. So he... Ooh, make me your last. Excuse me. Oh. Oh, geez. Okay, we just... Yes, he was a physician working at a renowned university hospital with a bright future ahead of him. At the age of 24, he married his childhood sweetheart of 10 years and was blessed with 2 children. Wow, so he was looking forward to seeing them. He worked at a transplant department in the hospital and specialized in organ transplants. He would often interact with the families of brain-dead patients and was in a position to ask permission for their loved ones' organs. The family's devastation and his role in clinically ending the lives of the brain-dead patients did cause him heartache, but he also firmly believed that his work was essential to save the lives of many patients awaiting organ transplants. Yeah, that's I mean, essentially, if you're brain dead, there's nothing you can do. It's like, but your parent, your loved one, whatever, can save this other person. That's still a tough spot to be in. One evening, there was a collision between a taxi and a large commercial truck. The victim who was brought into the hospital was his wife and 2 children. They were headed to the hospital via taxi to bring a change of clothes for Shido that he had forgotten that day. It was a devastating accident, and it was clear that both his wife and children would not recover or would not survive without immediate care. It was generally forbidden for surgeons to perform on their own family members. Shido put in the charge for the surgery for the driver, the very man who had just bulldozed his entire family. His head was in a panic, but his hands moved automatically. He quickly killed the truck driver, taking care for it to look unintentional. He thought the sooner he was done with the surgery, the sooner he could take care of his own family. With the situation being an emergency, Shido was given an exception and was allowed to treat his family. Despite this, his wife and younger son died soon after. In his despair, Shido works and prays fervently in hopes of at least saving his eldest son. However, after weeks of lingering in limbo between life and death, his eldest son's condition became all too clear, the familiar condition of brain death. Shido had explained to countless family members that brain death was synonymous with actual death, but when the roles were reversed, his world turned upside down. Of course. It's always going to make you question what you really believe when the rubber meets the road. The sun laying in front of him was still warm to the touch, and Shido could not bring himself to admit that this was indeed death. Shido regretted and felt deeply ashamed for the role that he had played in convincing the families of brain-dead patients to succumb and donate their loved ones' bodies for the good of some stranger. It was not ethical, it was inconsistent, it was ugly and evil. I don't believe that's the case, but I understand that thinking about asking you to do that for your own son would not feel good. Totally. In the state of severe self-loathing, Shido rummages through his son's belongings that were brought in from the scene of the accident. Disoriented and in a haze, he finds a piece of paper and tears it to shreds. It was the organ donor card that Shido had repeatedly told his family to carry with them at all times. Oh boy. So he really felt like he deserved what happened. That's just crazy, dude. That is insane. I've just, man, they really do such an incredible job at just letting you know that it's not as simple as it seems in a lot of these cases. I know we're going back here, but Haruka, I just want to see their thought here. I feel like I forgot Haruka. Oh, was Haruka the one who just kind of went with everybody?
持ってきたご飯食べてないのなんで死んじゃうよはるかくん
はいそのつもりです
なんで
看守さんに言ったんでムーさんを許さなかったらって
Oh yeah, he's the one that just kind of went with Moo.
大丈夫ですからねムー
Why
さん
would you not eat? Oh.
何か
きっと許してもらえますから
Is it like not eating in rebellion? Being like, I'm just not going to eat if you don't find her
そうな
innocent?
のかな
はい
Man, they make the clothes look really bulky, like he's just kind of
こ
wasting
れで
away.
いいの
はい幸せですムーさんの
Oh my gosh.
誰かのために
Not exactly.
何かができる
I mean, I think Mew is more than guilty, just saying.
役に立つことができる。お母さん。
はるかくん、もうは。はるかくん。痛いよ、看守さん。
Oh, yeah, that's right. They had like a
どう
really
なるか分
weird...
かってたでしょ。
Yeah, she had that really weird, like, they had that weird back and forth. Ugh. Yo. Dude, starving yourself to death, that is pretty crazy. Born in 97 in Nogako. From an early age, Haruka developed more slowly compared to his peers. His overprotective parents would not accept that their child had developmental delays and would not provide him with educational environment suited to his needs. So back in that day, they still had, like, they had resources with education and stuff. That's really interesting. I just say that because in the States, at least where I worked, when I worked with kids with special needs, there was so much that we were behind on with a lot of mainstream schools. The gap in developmental achievements between him and his peers kept widening, so much that when he reached 15 years old, he could still not adequately read kanji. It was around that time that his parents simply gave up, and they switched from overprotectiveness to disinterest. That sucks. From then forth, his parents acted as if Haruka did not exist. Haruka tried to regain his parents' attention by causing problems and disturbances, but his parents' attention was never directed at him again. Haruka started to kill small animals in secret. From around that time, he killed insects, he killed mice, he killed stray cats and dogs. He felt relieved when there was life in the world that was inferior to him. Haruka's actions soon escalated, and he started to kill pet cats and dogs as well. The following day, he witnessed tormented screams of people who suddenly lost a life they so cherished, and he has a deep emotional reaction where he feels like for the first time he indeed connected to the world. The neighborhood increased its security soon afterwards, and Haruka's unsophisticated crimes came to light. The police detained and questioned him harshly. Haruka experiences a heightened sense of excitement from all of this interest and attention directed at himself. Oh my gosh. When he saw the faces of his parents who were called in for him and him alone, that heightened excitement reached a fevered pitch, and he fainted. The day after he was released, he committed murder. The victim was a small child, clearly less powerful than himself. It was the day of the fireworks festival. He tempted a child who strayed from his parents. Haruka weeps and clumsily hides the body. This child's life was probably more valuable than my own. Perchance. A future much brighter than mine was probably awaiting this child. Why did I end up like this? Haruka cried night after that, and repented. He thinks about the future of the child he murdered and claws at his chest. When he came to, he was strangling the neck of another. Wow. Dude. Oh boy. That's a tough one. Because, yeah, I mean, being aware of it and having remorse about it is one thing, but dude, that's such a crazy addictive viewpoint. That if I can just, I feel so disconnected from everything. I feel like nobody cares about me. And if I can do anything to get attention, then that is truly the be-all and end-all. Oh my gosh. What do you guys think about this series? This is so crazy to me. I've been just aghast at how they've been going here. And yeah, I mean, we can have different viewpoints on things. I am not against that. But yeah, I am open to discussion. Absolutely. MILGRAM, you are doing amazing, and I am so intrigued to see what ends up happening here at the end. So, see you guys in the next one.